I said to Jesse and the guys, with all due respect, like from maybe the poster and knowing what it was a little bit about, I kind of expected, sort of a dumbed down Hollywood prison comedy. And this movie has so much heart, and it's a really good film on top of being a funny comedy. Was that what attracted you guys to the project? Could you tell from the script that it really had that sort of heart?
Yes.
Yes.
Since I read the script, well, I have a lot of fun, but I found it was an intelligent comedy, like a Cohen's comedy.
Yeah.
And I told Olga, I want to be part of this, and we need to be part of this. So I invited her to the project, and I introduced her with the director, and she got the role.
Oh, wow. That's how you got involved in the project?
Yeah, that's how I got involved. He introduced me. We've been friends for now 5 years. And yeah, so I met with Jesse, and then right after I met with Tom, and then we were rehearsing, and we shot the movie. And, it's like Hector said, it's an intelligent comedy, and with a great cast, and with a great star, which is Jesse Vajay, which is the writer and director.
Yeah. Yeah, you could easily see it, going the wrong way, and obviously it deals with, racism and some heavy issues. Yes. You could easily see the comedy, just not working. Could you talk about sort of balancing those two tones, the tone of the film's comedy along with, the serious issues that it deals with?
Yeah, it's the work of the director, because when he wrote the script, I think the genre. If you use in the good way, like on the movie 50-50, it's another delicate topic, but very funny and at the same time very touching. It depends on how you put it on camera, on the script. I think it's
when you have a great script. That's how we got involved into this project. It's written, it's there.
Right.
Every single character, the transformation of Tom is there. Of course, we do, after that, we need to do our work as actors, and then with a great leader, we're just there, and we had a huge challenge that it was filmed in 14 days.
That's unbelievable.
I think it was 13 days, and then, with the cast, and then some pickups with the 14 day or something like that.
That was the hardest part, that was such a quick shoot.
Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, that's a whole film in a week and a half. That's really quick.
For me, I didn't have any dialogue. It was voiceover, but for him, he was the chatty one. I wasn't the chatty one. So he had to memorize a lot.
And the film's very specifically shot. Jesse shot it in a very specific way as well. Were you surprised, maybe impressed with the way did you know exactly what he was doing? There are a lot of extreme close-ups and a lot of quick cuts and...
Well, yeah, I think the edition is pretty smart too, really well done. And I think the director has in his mind already how he wants to show us the story, so that helps to shoot fast. And also we have a great photographer, Billy Otto, that I think he did a really great job.
Cinematographer,
And we shoot everything in a warehouse in Inglewood, and just 3 small sets indoors. In the other one was
and Lancashire, or outside Los Angeles, but it was pretty much like it.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
But I remember that some of those, small shots, the ones that were, it's because as well, for example, Tom was doing a lot of his, while Stacy Keach has all these stream shots, Tom was there. But when Tom had all those shots, he had to have Jesse, it was just pretty much Jesse and him. Stacy wasn't there.
Okay.
So it was just because we had Stacy for 3 days. That was it.
Right. So you just had to shoot out Stacy essentially, and then go back to do the coverage.
And then do the coverage because it wasn't. There was no money or time for do medium shots or like.
No, I noticed that too. A lot of the film is told in wide shots.
Yeah.
Especially with the potato stuff. There's a lot of. I mean, it just seems like maybe it was stick the camera, point, shoot, and go. Is that kind of what it was like?
We needed to do it we just had 14 days to shoot it.
Wow. Amazing.
And Tom had a lot of films going on. This was his his first film after everything.
And the cameras guys, they were really fast, so they already have all the lighting and everything set up, really quick, so that way we move fast.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, let me ask you, Hector, about Emilio and sort of his relationship with Leroy, and maybe what's he thinking when they first meet, and what's his impression of initial impressions of Leroy? Because the relationship starts to change.
Yes. Well, actually, I meet Tom Sizemore the first day. We don't have the opportunity to rehearse. I rehearsed with Jesse, and he played it like that. So Tom and I just meet the first day of work, and we fortunately we shoot the sequence in order of sequence. So that helps to build the characters more natural, more convincing. At the beginning we didn't know each other, and then we started working, and then we started loving each other.
Yeah. Well, and it almost seemed like, obviously Leroy is Ku Klux Klan, and has all these issues, and it almost seems like not that Emilio doesn't understand that, but he sort of understands it, but doesn't really pay any attention to it, and kind of continues to treat him like just a normal person. Was that your impression of how it, how that relationship kind of grows, that he sort of overlooks all that and just tries to deal with him like he would deal with anybody?
I think Emilio, he knows that he's a dragon from the Ku Klux Klan, and he knows what's the Ku Klux Klan. But he feels protected in jail, because if he finds this character on the street, he run and he killed me.
Right.
But we are in jail, so we.
It's almost like he has the power on his side.
That's why I'm talk because I can take advantage of that.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, and tell me about Madalena. What does she see in this guy? What did she see in him that attracts her initially?
It's just that sadness, and that it intrigues her, and that's the first note. Like, why don't you smile? Like, what's wrong? Why? You just have to be happy, and of course she was like always looking at him and giving him looks, and he will never be, she's beautiful, and I think it's like that's intrigues her as well, because she's like, why you're not smiling at me? Why, so it's just, and she kind of like feels sorry for him as well. So
it wasn't an initial attraction on her part, it was more of just her being kind.
Yeah. And then after that, of course, it's like that old love, how you fall in love, and in those times with letters.
Yeah.
That's and I love that about this movie, because now you have Facebook, you have internet, you just Twitter, and but on those days you had those letters, and that's how you kind of like introduce these people, and fall in love with this person as well.
Tom,
like old times.
Tom mentioned to me that he sees after the movie, after it cut and we see, what happens to Leroy, that he imagines Leroy finding her and living happily ever after. Do you kind of envision that as being the future as well?
Yeah, and I think she's by herself, and of course she didn't want to stay in the United States, but he remembers him, of course, and we were talking about that as well. We totally see each other like married and with the little bambinos.
Were you familiar with Dr. Ben Casey, or did you have to YouTube or do some?
Find him.
You did.
I was familiar with him, I had to find him, but he doesn't have a blonde hair. But he has a dark hair. But I think it's this particular vision of Emilio. Then all the Americas are very clean, very haircut, and he doesn't.
Was that actually your hair in the movie, or is there a wig, or they permed your hair out, or what did they?
It was my hair, and they had some extensions and so look bigger.
Yeah, excellent. Well, finally, I just ask you both about what do you think the film says in obviously a funny way about, racism, where we've been, where we're going, where we are now. What do you think maybe an audience can take away in addition to laughter from this film?
It's a film about tolerance. It's a film about love. It's a film about friendship. It's a film about racism. It's a film,
redemption.
Redemption, and it's a film as well for, Madalena says it, like, people can change, but only if you really want. So in a funny way, you just give I don't know, very subtle, but you drop that message right there, and that everybody, we're equal, and and it's a very funny way to say it. Hector is just hilarious in the movie, and Tom as well, and
like Emilio say, what would you get at the end? A lesson.
Yeah, a lesson. Yeah, that's absolutely what happens, and we got a lesson from the film as well.